A golden retriever ran toward a police officer, a glove clutched in his mouth, eyes wide with urgency, pleading for help. And what happened next stunned everyone. Before we jump in, hit subscribe and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We love connecting with viewers all over. In a cozy yellow house on Willow Bend Street, a woman named Mara Danvers bent over to tie her walking shoes. Her golden retriever, Rusty, paced in small, eager circles by the door. Rusty, 3 years old, had fur glowing like morning honey and eyes that gleamed with intelligence and warmth, like tiny lanterns guiding the way. His loyalty wasn't something taught. It was something earned over countless shared mornings and quiet moments. Rusty wasn't merely a pet. He was Mara's reason to rise some days, her companion in silence, and her anchor when loneliness crept too close. Since her husband's passing 3 years ago, Mara had withdrawn from the world, but Rusty, a timid puppy she had rescued from a shelter in a nearby town, had slowly bridged her back to life. Every sunrise, Rusty would deliver her walking shoes to the door, set them down, and sit back as if to declare, "No excuses today. You're coming outside." And Mara always followed. That morning, she inhaled the crisp air deeply as she stepped outside. The scent of pine from the nearby woods mingled with the freshness of fallen leaves. Rusty nudged her hand, then trotted ahead with perfect patience mixed with excitement. They took their usual route toward Alder Creek Park, crossing the narrow wooden bridge that creaked under their steps. Rusty lingered mid-span, nose between the rails, watching the creek sparkle in the soft sunlight. "Come on, sweetheart," Mara laughed softly. "You act like it's a movie down there." Rusty bounded back, tail swaying, his movements almost dance-like in their joy. Deeper into the park, tall oaks towered along the winding paths. Morning mist hovered low, curling around their ankles like drifting spirits. Birds chirped unseen in the canopy. The world felt hushed and safe. Mara cherished these walks. They offered a temporary reprieve from the weight in her chest. Rusty seemed to sense her emotions, nudging her hand, resting his head gently on her lap, or leaving a toy at her feet as a small offering. She believed he had saved her once. She had no idea he would do it again. Halfway through the trail, Mara faltered, hand brushing her temple instinctively. A sharp pressure gripped her head. Her vision blurred, turning the trees into streaks of green and brown, like paint smudged in water. "Rusty, wait," she murmured. He stopped instantly, ears pricked, eyes wide with alarm. Mara swayed. The pressure intensified, squeezing her from inside. She reached for a nearby tree trunk but grasped only air. Her knees gave out. The world tilted. The last thing she heard before darkness claimed her was Rusty's urgent bark. Rusty lunged, nudging her shoulder, trying to keep her upright, but she collapsed onto the damp ground. One glove slipped from her hand and landed on a mossy patch. Rusty circled, barked frantically, pawed at her jacket, and even tugged gently at her sleeve with his teeth, mimicking the way humans lift each other. But she didn't respond. Her chest rose in shallow, uneven breaths. Her eyelids fluttered, then stilled. The park was silent. No joggers, no dog walkers, no one nearby. The sun hadn't risen fully. Rusty paused, his ears twitched, his heart pounded. He glanced down the path, then back at Mara. A decision sparked in him. Waiting was not an option. He grabbed the fallen glove in his mouth, looked at her once more, and bolted. Rusty sprinted like he had never run before. Leaves flew behind him. His paws struck the ground in urgent rhythm. He reached the main trail, darted across the bridge, and exited the park where the road curved gently. A patrol car appeared around the corner. Officer Caleb Hart had just started his shift, windows down, radio humming. Alder Creek was quiet at sunrise. Until Rusty burst into view. Caleb slammed the brakes, coffee sloshing. "What the—" Rusty stopped directly in front of the car, panting, eyes wide, tail rigid. The glove swung from his mouth. Caleb opened the door slowly. "Hey, you okay, buddy? You shouldn't be here alone." Rusty didn't retreat. He stood on hind legs, front paws pressing against Caleb's thigh, eyes pleading like never before. "Wait, is that a glove? Did something happen?" Rusty barked once, sharp and urgent. Caleb knelt. "Show me." Rusty dropped to all fours, spun, and ran back toward the park. Caleb didn't hesitate. He grabbed his radio. "Dispatch possible emergency near Alder Creek Park, following a dog. Stand by." He ran after Rusty, who led him down the twisting trail, glancing back once to ensure Caleb stayed close. The trail narrowed and dipped. Caleb stumbled over roots but pressed on, following the desperate barks. At a clearing beneath an oak, Mara lay motionless, one glove missing. Rusty pressed against her side, nudging, whimpering softly. "Oh, God." Caleb knelt beside her. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" No response. Her pulse was faint. Caleb lifted his radio. "Dispatch, EMS needed immediately. Adult female, unconscious, shallow respirations. Repeat, immediate assistance." Rusty laid his head on Mara's shoulder, refusing to leave. Caleb placed a hand on Rusty's back. "You did well, boy, really well." Minutes passed like hours. Rusty stayed glued to Mara, eyes flitting between her and Caleb. Finally, sirens cut through the morning air. Paramedics rushed down, carrying equipment, speaking in clipped tones. "Unresponsive? Pulse weak. Possible neurological issue. Lift carefully." Rusty tried to climb onto the stretcher as they lifted Mara. "Hold the dog back," one medic ordered. Caleb intervened. "Let him come, trust me." They allowed Rusty to accompany her into the ambulance, staying at her feet, refusing separation. If you're still watching, it means you care about heroes like Rusty. Hit subscribe and join our family of animal lovers who believe courage comes in all shapes and sizes. At the hospital, he paced, lay down, stood again, eyes fixed on the emergency doors. Whimpers escaped now and then. For hours he didn't eat or drink. Nurses placed bowls of food near him, but Rusty turned away every time, lowering his head to the floor as if in silent prayer. Every few minutes he whimpered softly, the sound aching, almost like he was crying. Sometimes he lifted his face toward the ceiling, eyes closed, paws tucked together, as if begging the universe to give Mara back. Caleb returned, sitting beside him. "She's still inside. Stay strong, okay?" Rusty rested on Caleb's knee, trembling with stress. Finally, a nurse appeared. "You can bring him in. She's awake." Inside, Mara lay propped on pillows, eyes half open. Rusty bounded to her side, tail wagging, resting his head gently on her arm. She lifted a trembling hand. "There you are, my brave boy." Her voice was raspy but warm. "He didn't leave," the nurse added. "We tried moving him. He refused." Mara looked at Rusty. "You saved me, Rusty. Really saved me." He licked her hand softly, then rested his face on her blanket. When Caleb entered, Mara whispered, "Thank you for coming when he asked." Caleb shook his head. "No, ma'am, he did everything. I just followed." Later, doctors explained that Mara had suffered a sudden neurological event and dangerous blood pressure drop. Rusty's quick action likely saved her life. Rusty curled at her feet, guarding her through recovery, even as she had scans, therapy sessions, and short walks. Hospital staff eventually gave up separating them, creating a cardboard badge reading, "Rusty, Emotional Support Hero." Whenever Mara spoke, Rusty perked up. When she was quiet, he rested his head in her lap. At uneasy sleep, he pressed close. One evening, Mara asked Caleb, "Why did he bring my glove?" Caleb smirked. "He knew you wore them each morning. Maybe he wanted to show me proof to make sure I followed." Mara smiled weakly. "He's always been perceptive." Caleb shook his head. "No, that was loyalty, pure loyalty." Days later, Mara was discharged. Rusty nudged her, gently guiding her whenever she slowed. The hospital hall lined with staff. "There goes the brave one. Rusty, come back and visit." "Take care of her, buddy," Rusty barked proudly. At home, Mara placed a framed photo on the mantel. Rusty, paws on Caleb's knee, glove in mouth, eyes blazing with urgency. Mara whispered, "I don't deserve you, Rusty, but I'm grateful you're mine." Rusty didn't understand the words but felt the tone. He placed his head on her thigh, sighing deeply. Life resumed, but their bond deepened. Rusty noticed when she swayed, lay across her feet if she paused, and guarded her as if no one else existed. Word spread of Rusty's bravery. Kids waved. Newspapers covered it. Golden Retriever leads rescue in Alder Creek Woods. The mayor sent a note Rusty tried to chew. Fame didn't matter. Mara was his world, and he would protect it at any cost. Run across streets, stand in front of cars, carry gloves, beg strangers for help. To Rusty, saving her wasn't heroism, it was love. And love, pure and fearless, always runs toward the one who needs it. If Rusty's courage touched your heart, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing animal hero stories, and share this video to inspire others. And don't forget to tell us in the comments about the pets in your life who've saved or brightened your days.